Hey guys, so I recently picked up the Huawei Mate 9 phone. This is Huawei's latest flagship. I want to do a quick review of the handset. I have been using it over the last couple of days. Tell you what I think is pretty good about the device, as well as some areas for improvement for the future. So first things first, we can talk about the build quality in terms of the massive display here. I did think it was going to be quite unwieldy given how big the device is, but I've got to say Huawei's done a fantastic job here, making it very comfortable in the hand. I don't have the biggest hands, but I can certainly get around the device here with one hand. Probably not quite as wieldy as a 5-inch phone, but it doesn't really feel that much bigger than the Nexus 6P. So if you're used to that kind of form feature, then you're pretty good with this phone. It's not unwieldy by any means, and it feels really robustly made here, like it's built to last. I do like the way Huawei uses a lot of metal on its phones, and everything feels nice and chamfered here. We do get a dual camera on the back, and obviously a fingerprint sensor, which, as usual, is very reliable. We get some nice writing here, which I'm guessing means that it's sponsored or co-engineered by Leica, so the camera is going to be a big aspect of this particular phone. The thing I did notice is that we're running the latest EMUI software, which looks a lot more mature and nicer on the eyes here compared to the older kind of EMUI that you do get with the other like Huawei phones. So for example, the notification shade here is a lot different to how it was before. You can quickly get access to your settings by dragging down there, and it looks just a lot neater than it did with the older EMUI, which I think was the version 4. This is version 5 now. So if we look in the settings as well, you can see we do get a nice evolution of the design here. So it's good that they've been making some changes. I still question whether EMUI is actually needed on Huawei's kind of phones, but then again, I guess they primarily make phones for the market like in the East. So this is a 4GB RAM model as well. You can get different configurations, but the one released here is 4GB. So you can see we do have a similar kind of multitasking there. If we have a look in the actual settings, we can see we get a lot of different features that you can do here, which some of them are useful. Some of them I probably wouldn't use myself. You get the standard features that you know and love from the P9 and the Honor 8, such as the one-handed UI, which could be very useful for such a massive phone here. So lots to check out here, see and do. I think we are running Android 7 as well. This is based on Android 7.0. A lot of Huawei phones haven't yet been officially updated to 7.0, but we are expecting that very shortly. So it just feels very fresh. I've got to say, it feels like a new experience. But I do wish to still turn it down a little bit and bring back an app drawer, because we do, enjoy the app drawer here. So other than that, I've been checking out as well the camera on the Mate 9, comparing with the best that Samsung has to offer currently. So I did go out and take some shots here, and we can just see the results. You do get a lot of the nice stuff that you know and love from the P9 on there, such as the monochrome sensor. You get as well the bokeh kind of effects as well. And I'm going to say, I'd rate it about comparable with what Samsung's offering. I wouldn't say it's a massive step up, really. I'd say if you, take a lot of pictures on your phone, you're not going to be disappointed ultimately. You don't have to really rely on the manual mode to get a good shot as well, which is good. The close-ups, etc., very nice, full of detail and good, bokeh in the background. So yeah, I think Huawei's definitely caught up to Samsung here when it comes to the pictures. I think they still have some way to go to get to the level of smoothness when it comes to the video recording. I did find it, I had to prompt it to focus on the subject a little bit more than Samsung's phase detection autofocus. I'm sure it does support the same kind of stuff, but I don't think it's quite effective. So yeah, camera experience here, absolutely fantastic. You do get a lot of different features, many of which I don't think the average person is going to actually use, but it's good that they're there if you do want to check them out. You can see where you get night shots. One thing which is a bit annoying about night shots is that you have to hold it steady for a couple of seconds. I'd like it if you could just click that and it would get you a good night shot without having to hold it for too long, but it's a good camera experience nevertheless. The other thing people are probably interested in is in the battery endurance, which I think is quite a high milliampere in this phone, 4000, and you're going to have no issues getting through the day with this based upon my usage for a day. I mean, it's probably not battery beast as like the Lenovo P9, that is battery beast, but it's certainly going to be among the best in terms of endurance. I think GSM Arena's already done a comparison with some of the phones, and you can see the Kirin 960 is very efficient, along with all the battery modes that you can put on, like your power saving, etc. So the days of running out of battery are long gone when it comes to this phone. It's going to be much better than the P9, I think. So the things I want to talk about are the things which I think could be improved when it comes to the high-end Huawei flagship. And the first thing I'd say is the screen resolution. While it's not bad, by any means, if you're coming from like Note 5 or like an Nexus 6P, you will notice that the screen isn't quite as sharp as those phones, because I think it's rocking full HD. Now on like a Samsung phone like S7 Edge, you can now choose whether you want full HD or go all the way up to 2K. So it'd be nice if we had those sorts of features with the latest Huawei phones. I don't know if the P10 is going to support 2K. I don't think it is. But because it's quite a big display, you do want nice screen resolution overall, and I certainly can see when a display isn't quite as high quality as another display. You're also not getting AMOLED display, which you can see from the viewing angles here. The icons don't look quite as like high contrasty. So these are just like minor pet peeves with the screen that I do have. Most people aren't going to be too fussed by it, but I do want to let you know nevertheless. The other thing I would say is that the phone feels a little bit heavy compared to some of the phones. It would be nice if they made it a little bit lighter. Maybe because it is such a big phone, it has quite a bit of heft to it. I notice it feels heavier than the 6P as well as the Note 7, which I did have for a while. If you drop this on someone's head, it would certainly do damage. So that's something to work on. And also the other thing is the price issue. Now, for the same price, you could get iPhone 7 Plus. You could get Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge for cheaper. There was a time when Huawei made excellent phones, but they didn't price them for quite as high, and that was, I think, what a lot of people liked Huawei for. But now they're just going for the highest price possible. I think the Porsche design one costs like 2,000 or something. No one's going to pay that much, I don't think, compared to iPhone 7 Plus, and I think they need to be more realistic, really, in regards to the price, as well as get the phone out in a fast manner. But if you can look past these things, you're getting a fantastic phone overall. It's got everything you need, really, in terms of the power, the performance. It's going to be pretty good. But then again, we are on the verge of a whole set of new phones. So would I recommend it? Personally, I'd say you should wait to see what P10 brings, P10 Plus, because that's most likely going to come with an AMOLED display, and also obviously we have LG's latest flagship. We've just had the Xperia XZ Premium announced as well. It's looking like quite a tough sell when you compare to these phones, but if you do want to go the Huawei route, it is still the best that you can get right now, and overall it does get a solid recommendation from me. I do wish that they would lighten EMUI even more though for future phones. So yeah, just a quick review here of Huawei Mate 9. I'll probably do some videos comparing the performance against this boy running Android Nougat. So do stay tuned for that, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.